Hey everyone, and welcome. We often think of learning as this chore, right? Something you have to do for school or for work. But what if we totally flip that on its head? What if we saw it as this incredible personal journey to build the skills you've always wanted? That's exactly what we're going to dive into today. Let's do this.
But before we get into the how-tos, I want you to ask yourself a really honest question. Look at your current skill set. Are your skills truly future-proof? Think about it. The world is changing at a dizzying pace, and if you're just standing still, well, you're actually falling behind. So the real question is, how do you not just keep up, but actually get ahead of the curve? All right, so if we're going to embark on this journey, we need to know why we're even packing our bags in the first place, right? That's what this first part is all about, getting to the heart of why continuous learning really, truly matters. And the cool thing is, these benefits aren't just a random list. They create this amazing upward spiral. Think about it. You learn something new, you get better at it, and boom, your expertise and your credibility just shoot up. All of a sudden, new career doors you didn't even know existed start to open. And as you walk through them, your mind stays sharp, you become more adaptable, and that builds this incredible confidence to take on even bigger challenges. It's a powerful, self-feeding cycle of growth.
And let's be real, this gets right to the core of it. We're not just talking about feeling good about yourself. This is about your career. It's about staying relevant. The person who's always learning isn't just playing defense, trying to keep up. No way. They are on offense. They are the ones setting the pace, and frankly, leaving everyone else playing catch-up.
Okay, so hopefully you're feeling motivated, you've got your why, so now what? Well, every good journey needs a map. You wouldn't just start driving without a destination, right? So in this next part, we're going to chart your learning course. It makes all the difference, trust me. And here it is, your roadmap, and it's really just a simple 4-step plan. First up, you've got to figure out what key skills you actually need. Then, and this is super important, prioritize them. Which ones will give you the biggest bang for your buck? Third, you got to set some real specific goals. And finally, and honestly, this is the part almost everyone skips, you have to actually schedule the time. I mean it. Put it in your calendar like it's a doctor's appointment.
And look, this doesn't have to be some overwhelming, life-altering change. We're talking about just 30 minutes a day. That's it. That's probably less time than you spend scrolling online. If you can commit to just that small chunk of time, every single day for a couple of months, you could master a whole new tool or concept. It's all about consistency. Consistency over intensity every single time.
All right, we've got our why and we've got our plan. Now it's time to get our hands dirty. This next section is all about the practice of learning. This is where the magic happens, where knowing about something finally turns into knowing how to do it.
So if you really want to put the pedal to the metal on this, you have to mix it up. Don't just rely on one thing. Think of it like this. You wouldn't try to cross the country just by walking, would you? Of course not. You'd use a car, a plane, maybe a train. Learning is exactly the same. Don't just read books. Mix in online courses. Find a mentor who's been there before, and this is the big one, get out there and get some real-world hands-on experience.
And this right here, this is everything. It's the critical difference between knowledge and mastery. Anybody can read a book about coding. That's just knowledge. But can you actually sit down at a keyboard and build even a simple project with that code? That is mastery. Application is the bridge you absolutely have to cross to get from theory to an actual, usable skill.
Okay, this brings us to our final section, and honestly, this might be the most important piece of the whole puzzle. We're talking about the learner's mindset. If your plan is the map, then your mindset, well, that's the engine that's actually going to drive you forward.
I want you to really let this idea sink in for a second. We spend our whole lives being taught to avoid mistakes, right? To fear failure. But what if that's all wrong? What if we completely reframe it? What if every single mistake you make isn't a dead end, but is actually just a signpost pointing you in a better direction? Now that is the mindset of a true master learner.
So how do you actually do that? It's a concept called failing forward. When something goes wrong, you don't get defeated. You get curious. You treat it like data. You just analyze what happened, pull out the lesson, tweak your strategy a little, and go at it again. See, it's a strategic process. It's not about feeling bad, it's about getting better.
And a really simple way to start doing this is with a learning journal. And it doesn't have to be some fancy leather-bound diary or a complicated app. Look how simple this is. Just a couple of quick notes every day. What did I work on? What was the big takeaway? That's it. This tiny habit of reflecting is what cements the learning and turns it into real, lasting growth.
So, when you boil it all down,
The plans, the practice, the mindset. What's at the very core? What's the fuel for this entire journey? It all comes down to one thing: curiosity. That's the spark. It's what drives us to solve problems, to innovate, to ask why or what if. Without curiosity, the whole engine just sputters out and dies.
So, I want to leave you with one final question. And let's forget about those big, scary 5-year plans for just a second. Let's focus on right now, today. What are you curious about today? What's that one little thing that sparked your interest? Find it. Follow it. Because as soon as you do, your journey has already begun.